Okay. Should be live here a little bit early. Just working out the kinks here. Just waiting for it to actually go. There you go. It loaded in. All right. I'm going to listen to all of this that I've been saying just to get an idea of audio levels. And then hopefully we'll be kicking off qualifying here in about 2.5 minutes. Well, sounds a little bit quiet to my ear, but hopefully we're all okay. Let me know in the chat if there is a need to adapt anything. Of course, I don't think we got one view. Hello, one view. Running down here to the end of the Nogaro practice session here. So what we're kicking off here today is a double 30-minute race. Which means we'll be doing the qualifying, then we'll do a 30-minute race. Then based on the results of that first race, we're going to do a top 10 reverse grid for race number 2, which will then kick off and probably be super exciting, if we're being honest. That tends to be the good stuff. I'll knock us over here to auto director here, just to keep the cars in action instead of being stuck on one car that is perhaps in the pit lane. Adam Komorowski in the Pink Panther BWT car. So in practice, we got Tobias Thierolf on top, followed by Andrew D and Magic Kazchuk. We will see if that translates to qualifying or not. Martin Edmonds, Antonio Costa, Steve Davidson, Matt Al, James Butler, Josiah Jerome with the new flag. He's cracking around out there with a Dutch flag, I do believe. And Adam Komorowski. It's your top 10. We'll see how qualifying goes. Heading down on track, we got Magic Kazchuk leading the way in his red Ferrari. And also out there, I see Tobias Thierolf in the Audi. There you go. Looking at the fastest man alive so far. Let me dig up the standings here real quick. And I know Thierolf is in the lead, but let's see what else is going on here. So this is the second to last round. The final round is going to be a 90-minute race at Bathurst. That's going to be really, really cool. Hopefully I will have your boy Byron with me for that one. He is absent today because of some family needs. He's having brisket with the parents. Let's see here. Standings, please. Tobias Thierolf leading the way with 300 points, 226 for Martin Edmonds, 196 for Alfonso Alexandre. Then you got Matt Al on 158. So, yeah, it really seems like Alexandre versus Edmonds for second place in the championship is likely there. But there is a good battle going on for fourth place. The aforementioned Matt Al, Dirk Brechel's on 146, Kazchuk 132, 128 to Butler, 114 to Andrew D, taking us down to 8th place. And then Antonio Costa on 100 points, and haven't seen him in a while. Shout out to Fumihiro Kobayashi, who took a great second place in round 2 of the season, and currently finds himself in 10th place in the standings. So there you go. There is Magic Cash Cool. More likely than not. Be our first guy to put a lap time down. You see he's got the purple first sector right now. 32.116. We're at Nogaro, which is a track I honestly don't know this track very well. So this will be interesting because it's a track I'm not familiar with. I believe it's a fairly popular track in France, but I of course have not raced RaceRoom in a while since it got released, and am not familiar with it. It looks interesting. As Cash Check indeed briefly had pole. literally had pole the amount of time it took Tobias Thierolf to cross the line and beat him. Andrew D in 4th place. Martin Edmonds up at his 2nd. Checking in on the Pink Panther, Adam Komarowski, as he comes around for 5th place. Matt Al crossing line, Antonio Costa, James Butler. We've got 15 cars on the server right now. Hopefully that grows. I would love to see this get up to like about 20 cars. That would be nice. Martin Edmonds there in the WeatherTech car, currently in 2nd place. Top Ferrari. It is a 9-5 split in favor of Ferrari. Okay, oh, hang on. There's a 15 car here. 9-6. Picked up a 6th Audi. So 9 Ferraris, 6 Audis out on track. 12 cars opposed to the lap time. Josiah Jerome, Dirk Greshel, and Alfonso Alexandre have yet to do so. Greshel and Alexandre are both on track, so hopefully they pop up with lap times relatively shortly. Crossing line again. Not a very good lap there. Still 2nd quickest. We got 125 to about 129 and a half. So about a 4-second split across the field. 4.1 second. There's Komarowski. He's doing well. Good to see him up there in 6th place. Pardon me. 7th place is Antonio Costa. Swipes that position from him. Jeb Sparks currently in 10th place. He's got a good lap going here. He's got a good lap going here. This should be an improvement. And he didn't cross the line. Pardon me. I thought he was at the start finish line. There we go. That is an improvement. 28.054. But not enough to move up a position. Still 10th. Or pardon me, down to 11th. Still no time yet from Alexandre, Greshel, or Jerome. They've all posted laps. 3 laps, and 2 laps respectively. So it's a bit weird that they haven't put up a legal time. Clearly, none of them believing in the idea of the banker lap, where you just take a really conservative line through the track, and you hope that it's legal and it's a decent time. Kaschuk coming across the line. Looks like he'll have an improvement. Yep, 3rd place. That's a 26.061 for him. Only one man in the 25s, by the way. That is Tobias Thierolf right now. Mauricio Delgado. Oh, that's not a bad lap. Should be improving. And it is. Losing a lot of time, though, in the 3rd sector. It looks like Tobias Thierolf has got himself a heck of a 3rd sector time. Because I'm seeing all these guys coming in, and it's like, oh, they look like they're going to improve a couple of tenths, like even up to a second. and then it's just not the case. So it must be Thirol making up a lot of ground in that third sector section that is throwing everything off here. Looks like Komorowski with a PB through Sector 1. 14 cars have put up laps. We still do not have a legal lap time from Josiah Jerome. Let's hop on with him. Let's take over camera control here for the man who is yet to put up a lap time and is a man with talent, a man with ability for sure. By the name of Josiah Jerome. He is a quality race car driver, youngster in the field, two-time champion of the ESR Academy, and at the moment is the only man without a legal lap out there. So let's see what he can do. It's the end of the first 1.977. Oh, wow. I don't know what's going on here. Josiah just I was thinking that maybe he was like having really trouble, like he was over pushing or something, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Oh Lord, he's off the track. Still legal somehow, but he is struggling badly. Wonder if there's a ping issue. Looking, do I have ping on the tools here? No, I don't. I cannot see ping. Another illegal lap for Josiah. Let's turn the auto director back on. This is getting a little disappointing. So still out in front is Thierolf, Andrew D, Cash, Chuck, Edmonds, and Davidson. 3 Canadians in the top 5. Nice. Is that the pit line? I guess it is. I'm assuming we have no mandatory pit stop today due to the 2 short races. It's, that does look like a tricky looking pit lane. Very easy entrance, but looks like it loses a lot of time. Andrew D, currently the man in second place on a 26.007. Top Ferrari in the field for Car Guy Racing. One of my personal favorite liveries in the field actually is that yellow Ferrari. There's a lot of good liveries though in this field. I think the AlphaTauri car, driven by Fonzo Alexandre, that looks good. I like it. I'm also a big fan of the I think it's Matt L's Monster Energy car as well. Antonio Costa with the Red Bull livery is also very nice. And trying to remember who it is, but there is somebody who has a really nice car, but I think they're not here today. I'm not seeing it in the little livery previews that I have available today. Let's see what else Chandra can do here. He's got personal bests in Sector 1 and Sector 2. Should be pretty solid here. Looks like they're not losing a lot of time to Thierolf in Sector 2. So it's Sector 1 and Sector 3 where Z German is putting up the dominant display. And no. Oh yeah, a little bit of 7th quickest for Alexandre. Pick up Jeb Sparks. Currently in 12th position. Seeing Dirk Russell down at the back of the pack, that's also a bit interesting. We have in the chat, no Byron Blasphemy. Sorry, you just have me today. You just have me today. Fonzo Alexandre running in 7th place. Or not running in 7th place, qualifying in 7th place. We're not at the race yet, so technically no one's running. Looks like Fonzo had a bit of a problem there. Saw some dust kick up and lost some time. He's 9:02 off of pole position. Heading into the third sector. We know he loses a bunch of time in the third sector because they all do. I wish I had sector times. That would be something that would be handy. That is not currently available on the spectator mode. Kazchuk in third place. Having a good day. Looks like we got a really good battle for second place today. D, Kazchuk, Edmonds, even Steve Davidson are all in good sniping distance of each other. So, while Tobias Theerolf is doing his thing, it looks like we should have a good time elsewhere. Kazchuk with a personal best in the first sector, but unable to improve in sectors 2 and 3. Martin Edmonds goes second quickest. He is the second man into the 125s here today. 125.927, plenty of time left. 16 minutes to go in qualifying and a half. So I have no doubt that we will see some additional heroics on the long run. I was going to say we got a new car. Nope. No, we don't. Still 15 cars. No lap time from Josiah Jerome yet. Wonder if he is, and he's been in the pits a while, so I wonder if he's having some technical difficulties. See if Mauricio Delgado can improve his lap time here. Looks like he had a pretty good first and second sector. And into the third sector he goes, and he does. Pip Jed Sparks for 13th place. That is a 27.978 lap time. He is only one guy is not done at least at 27. That is Jed Sparks, along with Josiah Jerome, who has no legal laps. Personal best in sectors 1 and 2 for Adam Komorowski. He comes to the line looking to improve on his 9th place. I imagine he's got a shot to do so. And he does, up into 7th place. 26.438. According to the spectator tool, 4.53. But there's always a slight argument there. We got a Martin in the chat.
Hey Mike, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All
People
right,
can
well,
hear you.
The stream is saying waiting for ESR. There is nothing showing.
I'm looking at it on my laptop right now. You've got it. Are you sure you got the right link? Because there's two you've got made up here in the ESR YouTube channel.
Because I had the one that notified me.
I have the one that is live ends in DDI or L. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
It's either a
it's not
capital
showing.
I or a small letter L. LYCIL. I or L on the end there.
Okay, so there's a different
got
one
two
that's
viewers.
showing live. Gotcha.
Now, in fairness, one of those viewers is me. There are two viewers. That's the one. So, well, now I hope to see a number of viewers come on over. Back up my camera control here. Josiah's back on track. Let's hop on board with him again. See if he can get this this elusive first legal lap in. All right, not a bad first sector. About a second off. He's wide again. That's going to invalidate the lap again for Josiah. What is going on with Josiah Jerome right now? The man who previously raced under a number of Caribbean flags, now under a Dutch flag, can't seem to get it going. Welcome to the viewers. I see the viewer count is growing. Looks like we have people coming on over from the quote-unquote wrong stream. I just picked the newest one. I didn't know that he shared the wrong link. Alright, well, let's see if Josiah can get that lap time in. I don't know what's going on with him. He keeps, he's given it a couple of shots. It's definitely not lack of effort. Camera control here. He has posted 8 laps. They're all illegal. That is the place he violated it last time. Looks like he's okay this time. 1.989 off right now. I don't think he's worried about pace. I think he's just worried about, oh, big spin. Not sure who that was. All right, coming to the line. Still legal. Still legal. And he's got it. Dead last. But you know what? You know what? Step one to getting fast around a circuit is to actually get a legal lap. That is step one. Well, I guess step one is a legal first sector, but the first real milestone is getting a legal lap. So that's good. I'm still trying to figure out who it was that had the big spin. Wasn't Steve Dave, wasn't Adam Komorowski, wasn't Butler, might have been Raul Valori. Yeah, it was, that's Raul. The very plain Audi R8. So that was him that spun off. We'll throw the auto director back on here for a little bit. Now that we finally have seen Josiah post up a lap time. Everybody's got a legal lap. And it looks like everybody's got a playmate today, except for the man in the chat, Tobias Thirolf, who is dominating. Absolutely putting the boots to people. He became the first man in Las Vegas blackjack history to get 100 hits. And he's here to take another race win. We had actually 2 people over on the stream last night for my Las Vegas blackjack baseball team get their 100th hit of the season, including Mr. Tobias Thirolf, who did it first, and Mr. Nick Sweet, who did it second. So they are both in that century club. Hopefully Jeff can get there pretty soon. It's 90 plus hits. Jeb Sparks coming to the line. He's got a pair of very good sectors. Should be a big improvement here. No! Couldn't get it done. Was it at least a new personal best? It was a new personal best. He did a 27.757, so he did get his best lap. Just losing a ton of time in that third sector. Andrew D, by the way, is the third man to crack into the 25s. Joining Martin and Tobias. what he can do here. Looks like he's got a decent lap. Maybe something. Probably not an improvement, though. No. Bit of a bobble there at the end. Ruined any hope of that, I think. So 8 minutes to go. Steve Davidson in the orange Audi. One of my favorite liveries in the entire field in Chili's. I am a big fan of this. I do wish I could read it instead of having the Japanese or the Asian. Probably Japanese? Probably Japanese. Could be Chinese. Had a really good first sector, but it looks like, well, that is, that makes that a bit of a moot point. There's Andrew D. Personal best in Sector 1. Looking to get up on that front row. Fonzo Alexandre has moved into the top 5. See that? He's a quick driver. One of the few guys who really seems to be able to take the fight to Tobias at really any given time. 2 personal best sectors for Andrew D. Looks like he might be a threat to that front row. And he'll come across the line. It is not an improvement. That's a 26.115. About 12 hundredths of a second off of his best lap. It looks like Dirk Grushel rejoining there after a spin. See what D can do here. Time running down. We're not at the absolute, warning limit here. Got 6 minutes. Enough time for 3, maybe even 4 laps. Andrew D, by the way, has put up the most laps here in qualifying, 16 of them. He is trying real hard to get that pole position, to get that front row start. Picking up the Red Bull liveried Ferrari of Antonio Costa. Currently in 7th place. Has a personal best in both the first and second sector. All right. He might be game here to improve upon his currently standing time of 26.373. So we can do here through the last little curvy section. Onto the start finish straight. A little bit too much curb there. And he is unable to improve on... Oh, no, he did. No, he did not. That was a 26.397. Just a little bit off of his best lap. Steve Davidson. Personal best in Sector 1. Looking to get himself up into the top 5 here. Ooh, personal best in Sector 2 as well. All right. We're on to something here. Can he get it done? Best lap up is a 26.212 right now. He would need a 26.104 to improve. And he will not be able to get that. That was a 26.572. Bad third sector. Hey, Josh McLaughlin in the chat. Why you not racing, Josh? Andrew D still in third place. Trying to improve. So it's Thierolf, Edmonds, D, Kashchuk, Alexandre, Costa, Davidson, Komorowski, Maddow, James Butler. That's your top 10. Then we have Josiah Jerome, Raul Valoria, Mauricio Delgado. Dirk Greshel is down there in 14th place. That's going to take some getting used to. It's not a lack of laps. And Jeb Sparks running off the field right now. Just a minute and a half to go. So these guys are getting in. These guys are getting in like their last to second last lap right now. So we are officially at that that tight moment, that do or die moment in time for these drivers. Andrew D, personal best in Sector 1. Can he improve? Can he get on that front row? Pole position feels out of reach, but Martin Evans does not. Personal best Sector 2. Nice. All right. Let's bring it on home. He needs a 25.926. That is the time to get on the front row. Dirk Greshel moving very slowly there. And he will not be able to do that. That was a 26.06. And there you have it. Your grid: Tobias Thierolf on pole from Martin Edmonds, Andrew D, Magic Kashchuk, Fonzo Alexandre, Antonio Costa, Steve Davidson, Adam Komorowski up in 8th place. Let's get a round of applause, although in my case, in order to push the press to talk, I more or less just have to slam my chest, which is that sound there. In 8th place, very Spartan to me. Matt Al, James Butler on row 5, Josiah Jerome, Raul Valoria on row 6. Row 7 is Mauricio Delgado and Dirk Greshel, and alone on row 8 is Jebs Sparks. Although it may not be two-man rows, because I was looking at the just the start-finish grid. It looks like this may be a 3-wide. We'll find out. Some of the new tracks have been making use of 3-wides or staggered grids. Let's see if this is one of them. So in race 1, my storylines to watch for, my thoughts here: Dirk Greshel back in 14th place. That feels wrong. Honestly, he's been a quality top 10 driver, so look for him to go forward in the race to sort out whatever issues or lack of pace he has, whatever turn it is, whatever section of the track it is that he can't master. Look for him to, repetitively over lap after lap after lap, start to be able to pull that off. And the battle for second place should be intense. Edmonds, D, Kashchuk, the Portuguese drivers, Alexandre and Costa, even Steve Davidson, I think, in with a shot of a podium, which is interesting, because that's down to 7th place on the grid. And there are some other people that are a little bit further down than you're used to seeing them. Matt Al, James Butler, they've been quick. Josiah Jerome, we know, is very quick. He's down in 11th place. Again, it'll be 30 minutes, and the top 10 will be reversed for race number 2. And that is where the action is really going to pick up. Let's be honest, anytime you do a reverse grid race, fun stuff happens, because the idea of a processional race in race number 2 reverse grid is off the table, and we'll see who can fight their way to the front. I'm particularly looking forward to that race there. As the grid forms up here for the start of race number 1. Which is, for the record, not to say race number 1 is going to be anything but awesome. Looks like Adam Komorowski delaying us here by not joining the grid. Come on, Adam. Might have needed to go to the bathroom before the race, perhaps. There we go. Okay, no, so it is just a standard 2 wide. All right. Those are just, I imagine those are just baseball, or not baseball, motorcycle starting positions. And we are off. Led by the Audi of Tobias Thierolf and Martin Evans' Ferrari, we head down towards, well, kind of turn 2. And oh no! Martin and Tobias getting into it. Andrew D has to go wide. Big spin for one of the Red Bull cars. And in the lead, suddenly, is Magic Kaszczuk. What a start to the race for the Polish driver, Adam Komorowski, from P8 to P2. This is amazing. Huge increases in through here as Alfonso goes side by side with James Butler. That is over 5th position. And further up, Andrew D still in 3rd. And in behind him, it is Steve Davidson. As I said, Alexandre going side by side with Butler. Top 10 being rounded off by Raul Valoria, Mauricio Delgado, and Jem Sparks and Tobias Thierolf. Jem Sparks, who started this race in dead last, is in 10th place as he gets put down behind Tobias Thierolf there. Not sure what happened with Thierolf and Edmonds, but they got into it, and I imagine that will end up with Brooke Stewart's. Martin Edmonds trying to get ahead of Jem Sparks, then is Matt Al behind him in the Monster Energy Ferrari. Further up, the AlphaTauri car. I am blanking on who is driving that one. Trying to make their way through the field as well. Josiah Jerome with Antonio Costa and Dirk Greshel on his tail. Edmonds to the inside and makes the overtake stick on Jem Sparks. That is 10th place for the Canadian. The famous tire eater and destroyer of worlds, Martin Edmonds. That's a spin for Raul Valoria. We saw him facing the wrong direction a couple of times in qualifying. That'll put him at the back of the pack. At the front, Magic Kaszczuk has opened up a 1-second gap to Adam Komorowski, who has Andrew D on his tail, Steve Davidson, Alfonso Alexandre. Alexandre is the AlphaTauri. I need to remember that. So he looks down the inside of Steve Davidson. This is a double inside corner. He is unable to make it stick there. Got a little bit too much curve, actually upset the car a little bit. Looking to the inside again. Unable to get it. Oh! Knocks Davidson into a spin. And it's been messy out there. It's been messy. Davidson to the back of the pack now. Now, the advantage of a messy race is that it ain't over. Things are constantly metamorphosizing, constantly changing out here. And it's going to open up doors. Josiah Jerome under pressure from Antonio Costa. He is on the tail of Jem Sparks, who has been corking the bottle here for a few drivers. Had a phenomenal start. Ran as high as 9th that I saw. Currently in 10th. So Kaszczuk, Komorowski, D, Alexandre, Butler in top 5. Thierolf is on the tail of Butler. see how that goes. As a man who's been watching these races for a while, having Tobias Thierolf on your tail, not a pleasant experience. Just leave it at that as Costa goes down the inside of Tobias Thierolf, or Josiah Jerome, picks up 11th place. Dirk Greshel is next in line, followed by Gloria. Steve Davidson trying to get back onto the back of the pack. Kazchuk pulling up the gap, out ahead. His last lap was the best lap of the race, 26.941. That is the fastest lap of the race and fastest of anyone on track, obviously, by, about 3 tenths of a second. Dirk Greshel looking to the inside of Jeb Sparks. Josiah Jerome taking a peek at Antonio Costa. One is successful, the other is... Oh, no. Looks like neither are successful. Oh, never mind. Costa off track. And it's Josiah Jerome suddenly going through. All right. So I thought right there that the successful overtake would be Greshel's. And it ended up Greshel did not get the overtake done. And Josiah Jerome did. There you go. Martin Evans is up to 9th place. Tobias Thierolf is into 5th. Looks like him and James Butler got past Alexandre, so perhaps a mistake there by the Ferrari driver. Solid day for Audi. They got 3 cars in the top 5 right now. They also do have the 2 bottom cars, but still. Dirk Greshel looking at the back of Jeb's Sparks. Antonio Costa up ahead and Josiah Jerome. Mauricio Delgado putting the pressure on Mad Al, or Mad Al putting the pressure on Mauricio. Not sure which. Looks like the latter. As Delgado also loses out to Martin Evans there for 8th place. Big charger is James Butler. He's up to 4th place, having started in 10th. Benefiting off of some carnage. And somebody coming into the pit lane. Looks like that's Antonio Costa. Nope, he's just off track. Butler, Alexandre, and Thierolf, as Thierolf overtakes Butler, and so does the Vons as well. Dirk Greshel on the tail of Jeb Sparks and Mauricio Delgado trying to get up into the top 10. He runs in 12th, having started this race in 14th position. Komorowski has lost second to Andrew D at some point. Looks like he's got a little off track. Still running in a solid 3rd position. James Butler putting the pressure on Alfonso Alexandre. Looking to get back in the top 5. Got a little bit too much of the curb there, maybe a little grass. Upset the Audi. Driving in Byron's favorite livery. And Raul Valoria's day is not great. We'll just, we'll leave it at that. Greshel still behind Jeb Sparks. He's looked a couple of times and nothing has really come of it. Martin Edmonds on the tail of Mad Al, looking to get 7th place away from the Monster Energy sponsored Ferrari against the WeatherTech Ferrari. Josiah Jerome in behind. Good work by Josiah, by the way. He's gotten up past both Delgado and Sparks. Finds himself in 9th position. Dirk Greshel might finally have it here. He's got the inside line. He's got overlap. No, nothing this time. Valoria off the track again. Thierolf's next target is Adam Komorowski up front. Butler's still putting the pressure on Alexandre. Martin Edmonds on the back of Mad Al. Plenty of battles going on. People are pretty close together. I got a lot of yellow flashing up on my screen here. Not a lot of red. Red is when things are very imminent. Looking around to see who's smashing times right now. Not really. Couple 26s out there. Fastest lap is a 25.962. That belongs to Tobias Thirol, who is in 4th place. And he is on the hunt. He would like the podium position. He was the pole sitter. Had contact with Martin Edmonds. Has come flying back through the field. And Dirk Greshel is again all over the back of Jeb Sparks. He wants to get through here. And he will. Sparks goes off the track there and makes contact with the wall. Tobias Thirolf all over the back of Adam Komorowski. Martin Edmonds and Mad Al are simultaneously having a battle, so Ollie will try to keep the camera focused where it needs to be. But it is going to be tough with two very close battles on at the same time. Still looking for a way past. All over the back of Mad Al. Battle of admins. WeatherTech v Monster. Two of the big sponsors in motorsport. A clash of titans. Four-second lead almost for Kazjak over at RWB. Thirolf on the attack. Here we go. 3rd place on the line between him and Adam Komorowski. BWT versus I'm not sure what Thirolf's being sponsored by. Still no way around yet. This track does look like it's actually fairly not difficult to overtake. It's certainly not like a cow or something, but it does feel like it requires multiple corners to make an overtake work in a way that I don't think other racetracks quite require. This feels very much like a racetrack where you need to make a chess move. You're setting up the move 3-4 turns ahead of time, and you need to be determined for it. So, and when you're Thirolf and you've got a championship to think about, you're winning it, but it's not mathematically closed up. You got to think about that. And is it enough to go for the move here for 3rd place, or do you preserve that championship lead? Dirk Greshel's up on the back of Mauricio Delgado. See if he can make shorter work of him than he had to work against Jeb Sparks. Also keeping an eye on Thirolf, who is all over the back of Komorowski. There you can see it. It's bringing in Fonzo Alexandre into play as well in the AlphaTauri Ferrari. And side by side between Delgado and Greschel. Delgado is going to hang on because of the inside lines for the next turn. And there he should, for the time being, have repulsed the attack. Komorowski still defending against Thirolf, but Thirolf's up the inside of a double right-hander here. Triple right-hander, actually. More like the carousel at Road America. And he will make the overtake work there. Also moving up, Fonzo Alexandre. Dirk Greshel, Mauricio Delgado, and Jeb Sparks. A three-way fight here. Greshel is going to make the overtake work, and I imagine he wants to pull away. It does look like he's worked out whatever difficulties he had in qualifying. Of course, he qualified in 14th place, and he appears to not be the 14th fastest car on the track. Steve Davidson coming up behind them, as well as Antonio Costa. Raul Valoria has parked it and has left the race. Or no, well, not left, but he's parked the car in the pit lane, and I guess he's gearing up for race number 2. Next on Theorolf's list, Andrew D. and Magic Kaszczuk, the 2 men in the lead. Leading this Ferrari 1-2. Although it is top 6 is an even 3-3 split. It's good to see. Good to see Bram Parody. Antonio Costa trying to make the overtake work and is unable to. Battling with Jeb Sparks for 13th place. Bit of a mismatch there. Costa qualified much higher than he's running. He qualified in 6th. So to have him running in 14th place is obviously a little bit out of position. Josiah Jerome and Martin Edmonds piled up behind Matt Al. Jerome's had a good race. 2 spots. Biggest climber remains, well, a tie between James Butler and Dirk Greshel, both +4. As Costa and Sparks are going side by side, it looks like Costa will win out this time. Matt Al off the track. No, I just left it, and Matt Al is in the kitty litter, dropping out of the top 10 down to 13th, maybe even 14th place. Yep, it's a big blow. A little over halfway done. Josiah Jerome on the tail. See if he can make his way around. Martin, of course, started on the front row, but I mean, we have no idea what shape his car is in after the contact on lap 1 with Tobias Theorolf. They both have been making their way through the grid, so I assume that they are okay. They did have heavy contact. Butler closing up on Komorowski. Could have a showdown there. A secondary Audi position. 5th place. And Steve Davidson on the tail of Mauricio Delgado trying to get up into the top 10. In my beloved number 88 car livery. I am a sucker for orange and black as a combo. I call it the BC line. I assume that used to be the start-finish straight for this track because there's a pit entrance there. Looking for the move here on Mauricio Delgado down the inside. That came from ways back. Might work. And it will. Brave move around the outside. And Josiah still putting on the pressure on Martin. So after really struggling in qualifying with finding legal laps out here, Josiah Jerome's out here just like, you know, ripping it off. He's got a 26.64 as his best lap, which is pretty close to the best lap of anybody. Not named Tobias. Tobias is the only one who's broken the 26. Putting up the fastest lap of the race at a 25.962. right now, as it stands, Josiah would start P3 for race number 2. So something to keep in mind. Steve Davidson would be the pole sitter, joined by Dirk Grushel in the front row. What a reversal of fortunes it would be for Grushel, who qualified for this race 14th, to have a reverse grid front row start. That'd be intriguing. Costa looking to take 11th place away from Mauricio Delgado, and he will. Very close. Very brave overtake by the Red Bull driver. And James Butler is up on Adam Komorowski. I thought this showdown for 5th place would be something we see in the near future. These two have run-ins before, so we'll see. There's been some bad blood between Adam and the Butler. As they battle over 5th position right now. And my stomach is right now demanding food. Josiah Jerome off the track. That'll buy Martin Evans some breathing room. Does manage to rejoin, it looks like, ahead of Dirk Grushel and Steve Davidson. Let's see here, what were those lap times were invalid. Okay. I was gonna say I was kind of interested what the speed difference between Butler and Komorowski is when they did not post the valid lap times, so I did not get them. Thierolf is caught up to Andrew D. You can see the yellow car of D, the silver bullet of Thierolf coming up, but I think this is where the action is right now. Thierolf's in no rush. He's a slow worker. He likes to slow cook the overtake a little bit. Costa would love to get that 10th place and therefore the reverse grid pole off of Davidson. See what they can do. James Butler kind of has lost Komorowski. Looks like he's a little out of his groove. So let's pop in on Thierolf, who's right on the tail of Andrew D. It is hard to break Andrew D. I wonder if he's settled in with his new hardware yet. He recently received some upgrades for his sim rig. And I have been kind of waiting to see them pan out with a nice thematic crescendo of a result. And a 3rd place here would not be bad. Nor would a 2nd place, particularly if you can keep 2nd place ahead of Thierolf here for 7 minutes and change. That's gonna be hard. I can't speak from personal experience. I've never been ahead of Tobias Thierolf at any point. But I imagine 7 minutes of his constant pressure is going to be absolutely a nerve-wracking experience. And of course, right now, Magic Kazchuk's best buddy in the world is Andrew D. Keep the big bad German behind him so that he doesn't come for Kazchuk's lead. So I don't think Kazchuk's had a win this season. Quick look here. Yeah, I am correct on that. The only non-win for recorded by anyone but Tobias Thierolf was back in round 2. That was won by Alfonso Alchandre. And that was at Imola. Still a couple other battles. Butler's coming back at Komorowski. Greshel's being caught by Davidson, as well as also being pretty close to Josiah Jerome. Mad Al trying to get back past Delgado after his incident with the gravel trap. Trying to make his way back up into 12th position. That gravel trap incident for Mad Al is big, because right now he's outside the reverse grid. So not only is race 1 a bit of a bust for him, but race 2, his starting position anyways, is going to be heavily compromised. See if he can get that done. Nero still on the... Oh! Here we go. Camera came here at just the right time. To the inside. Overshoots a little bit, but so does Andrew D. And that is second place for Tobias Thirol, who has come back from being dead last on lap 1, having had contact with Martin Edmonds, and making his way back up to second place. Now he's got about 4 3/4 minutes to try to catch up a 4-second gap to Magic Cascio. Mad Al versus Mauricio Delgado, 12th place on the line. Looking to make the overtake as Josiah Jerome falls off the track by a lot. That's going to move up Antonio Costa, by the way, onto pole position for race 2. And Mad Al moves up to 12th place without overtaking Mauricio Delgado. It is instead Josiah Jerome who will fall to the back of the pack. He is rejoining the background. I see the Audi rejoining, but tough break. Tough break for Josiah. Delgado hits the wall, and Mad Al goes through. It is 2 positions in a relatively short period of time. By the way, Fonza Alexandre on the attack here, looking for that final step on the podium. See if he can take it away from Andrew D. James Butler still closing on Komorowski, about 0.8 of a second there. And Steve Davidson about 0.8 of a second also behind Dirk Gresham. Butler at a blazing lap there. He's got the gap down from 0.8 to, well, you can see it. He's got a 4 for a bit. Oh, no! Caster's curse. Butler spins it around. And far from gaining 5th place, he actually loses 6th place to Martin Edmonds. Good thing he had a nice gap back to Dirk Russell, though, to rejoin. Steve Davidson putting the pressure on here with, as we approach the 2-minute warning of the race. Which we do. Probably means everybody has about 2 laps left. Probably after this time around. There you go. These guys, 2 more laps for Davidson to try to crack it. Although right now, he is starting on the front row of the reverse grid here, along with Costa. If he gets past Greshel, it would be Greshel who will start on the front row. Chandre still trying to get up on the podium. As stated, he is the only other race winner this season. He's been on the podium once other than that. That was last round in Indianapolis. Castruk's lead is down to less than 2 seconds, so Urolf is catching him at a rate of about a second a lap, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to really make that play. It's going to require a mistake. Josiah Jerome on the tail of Jeb Sparks, and he is through into 13th place. It's been a weird day. Almost every, I believe every car, all 15 cars that started this race have at one point or another run in the top 10, which is kind of insane. I know it's only 15 cars, so it's not that impressive, but it is a little insane to think that we've had that much turnover. Magic Kazchuk heading towards the final here, and his first race win of the season. Just has to make it through this S. And there is the checkered flag. Boom. Your winner, Magic Kazchuk, Tobias Thurolf in second. Andrew D will hang on to the podium ahead of Alfonso Alexandre. Adam Komorowski with a great run. Impressed in qualifying with a P8. It's a P5 in the race. Martin Edmonds, source of perhaps some carnage, 6th place. He'll be followed home by James Butler. And then Dirk Greschel hanging on against Steve Davidson. Antonio Costa will have the reverse grid pole, finishing in 10th place for the Red Bull Ferrari. And I don't think we'll see any other changes. So we head down. Is that what is Kazchuk's previous best result? I do wonder. I know he's pretty high in the standings. He was on the podium at round 5, as well as round 4. So he had been on the podium in the first race of the Donington Park round, and then repeated that in, or no, round 2. Was it Imola? Might have been Imola. And then was on the podium at Zhejiang. Oh no, it was Donington. So podiums at Donington and Zhejiang in second place. Does one better here today with the win, and the fastest lap going to Tobias Thurolf. So probably have a quick warm-up section here, and then it'll be on to race number 2, where Antonio Costa will lead from pole. All right, I'm going to have to rejoin the server here. This is the one here. Server is switching. Server is still switching sessions, so give me a moment here. Just making sure I have the right password and everything. Yeah. Checking to see if everyone is still here, and it looks like that is the case. Everybody is still in the server, including Raw Valoria. So it looks like we will have a lovely 15-car race number 2 here with Antonio Costa leading us from pole. Couple of guys going out there. Mauricio Delgado, Josiah Jerome, Dirk Reschel. Gonna take a little bit of laps. Get a little feel for something. Maybe a change of setup. I know Dirk and Josiah probably cannot be happy with the way the car is handling. They struggled. And Dirk is starting for P3 here, so he would love to have a nice, solid foundation to produce. All right, we form up for race number 2, 30 minutes of Nogaro. To send us off to the season finale at Bathurst, going down under to a land of danger. Costa leads the way. Joining him on the front row is Davidson. Here we go. And they're off. Leading the way, it is still Antonio Costa. Looks like Steve Davidson bogged down a little bit. Dirk Reschel moving up into second place. James Butler is facing the wrong direction. A couple other cars take back. Looks like Delgado D maybe caught up in that as well. That is a shame for the car guy, boys. He's rejoined. So it is Costa leading the way from Gretschel Davidson. Up into fourth place goes Martin Edmonds. Followed by Alfonso Chandre, Kazchuk, Theorolf, Komorowski, Matt Al, Jeb Sparks, Josiah Jerome. Top 11 getting through mostly clean. Looks like actually, despite being sideways on the track, James Butler has actually come out okay. He's dropped down to 11th place, or 12th place, obviously. But he's still very much with the pack. Take a look. There he is. Still very much in there. The auto director handle it for now, because there are battles everywhere, and I cannot keep track of them right now. Chandre in 5th place there. Race 1 winner Magic Kazchuk is up to 6th. Costa still in the lead. There's Fonzo looking for a way through. Steve Davidson still up on the podium. Thierolf's up to 7th ahead of Komorowski, Nadal, and Jeb Sparks. Speaking of Sparks, might be losing his top 10 spot here momentarily. As the white Audi of Josiah Jerome tries to get through. Ooh, contact. And they're both off. And James Butler is going to say thank you very much. As well as Andrew D. and move up. Josiah's still in the wall. And there he is. At the back of the pack. I would have to place the blame there for that particular contact. If it does go to the board stewards to Sparks. I think he took a line there that he was not going to be able to hold. And essentially forced Jerome off the track. But that is just one prognosticator's opinion. Thierolf up on the tail of Kaszczuk. It's like, you may have beat me in race 1, boy. I'm coming for that booty. Kaszczuk up 4 spots. He is the big climber. Absolutely making the best out of this Nogaro round is the red Ferrari driver. Evans still in 4th place. Behind Davidson, but ahead of Alexandre. It's good to see Dirk Russell keeping up. I was a little bit worried. Of course, he had the bad qualifying here, 14th place. And then in the race, he moved up into 8th place, but it didn't seem like he really had found the pace. So to see him up there in 2nd place, and certainly not running away with it, but he's keeping Costa honest. Only about a half second behind, and he's not falling backwards. Pick up an onboard with Alexandre, who might have just given Martin Edmonds a heart attack, and moves up into 4th place as a result. Oh, Martin's off the track. Martin Edmonds in the wall and out of the race. No. Edmonds out of the race. That could be a big deal for the championship. So Alexandre up into 4th, Kaszczuk, Thierolf, Komorowski, Nadal, Butler and D, your top 10. Delgado, Ralph Valoria, Josiah Jerome, despite his own off, is running still in 13th place. And Jeb Sparks bringing up the rear. Nadal running in 8th place. Still being held up by Komorowski in the BWT Audi. We'll hop on board with the Monster Energy race car. Oh, James Butler! No! That is not the first time we've seen Butler facing the wrong direction in this race. I have to say that looks like it was probably self-inflicted. Joins in behind Mauricio Delgado. They're still in 6th place as he looks for a way past the Ferrari of Magic Kazchuk, race 1 winner. Just the 3rd different racer to actually win a race this series. Such has been the dominance of Tobias Thierolf. He did not win at Imola. On that day, it was Alfonso Alexandre who stood tall, the man in 4th place right now, and Kazchuk earlier today in race 1 here at Nogaro. Steve Dave still holding on to 3rd place and a podium. So last time we were on board with Alexandre, he kind of chickened Martin Edmonds into the wall and did not do anything this time. We'll see. Matt Al on the attack in the background against Adam Komarowski again. Does not appear like the American has cracked. And a big thump of the chest, which I'm not sure if you guys can hear, for Dirk Greschel, who's still up there in 2nd place, as James Butler overtakes Mauricio Delgado for 10th. Big climber in the race, still Kazchuk, up 5 spots from having started 10th to 5th position. As we are on board with the Big Red. He's got Thierolf behind him and Alexandre ahead of him. That is a nerve-wracking place to be. Those are 2 of the fastest drivers in the field. Magic Kazchuk is out here duking it out with them. As Steve Davidson will spin off of the podium, at least for now. Oh, he retires. No, guys. James Butler goes around. What is going on with Mauricio Delgado? It looks like the car is backfiring or something. Josiah Jerome picking up a bunch of spots. Delgado does limp back onto the track at 11th place, as we lose James Butler as well. They're dropping like flies. We got 12 left. Big points on offer. Oh, Josiah! Loses control of the car. Would not be surprised if that damaged it. Oh, Valoria moving up a spot. It's a shame to see Steve Davidson's race come to an end like that. Spun around or got spun around. I'm not sure. We didn't see what happened. But he was on the podium looking like he was in for a very solid result. Had started on the front row here today. And now he's got nothing. So it is Costa, Greschel, Alexandre, Kazchuk. Top 4 are all Ferrari. Well, not anymore. Tobias Thierolf says, thank you. Taking a mistake there from Kazchuk to pick up 4th place. But Kazchuk in 5th, Komarowski in 6th, Matt Al 7th, Andrew D in 8th, Raul Valoria 9th, Josiah Jerome, Jeb Sparks, and that is Mauricio Delgado involved. He has had, yeah, he's out of it. I was going to say, I suspect there was something wrong either with the car or with the hardware. There was some interesting behavior from Mauricio that you don't usually see. So it would not have surprised me if there was some kind of problem as we approach the halfway mark of the race. Just 11 cars left. Magic Kazchuk, the race 1 winner, currently P5. A double podium is on the cards for him. He came in today down in 6th place in the championship, 14 points behind Dirk Greshel. Greshel's running in 2nd place right now, but it would not surprise me if his 60 points in race 1 was not a huge assistance. By my math, that would put him on 192. Josiah Jerome back running. Looks like that car probably does not feel great, but he's on the tail of Raul Valoria working for 9th place. See if we can see any crabbing or anything like that after his contact with the wall. Looks down the inside. Valoria gives him room. And Josiah takes it. Not quite over yet. Valoria might have picked up a little bit of aero wash there. And it will be 9th place for the Dutch driver. Right, so halfway point of the race in 10 seconds. 12 seconds. And it is still pole sitter Antonio Costa leading the way. I see Martin in chat. Martin, what happened? Appear to be out of the race. It's very unlike you. Steve Davidson's out of the race. Canada is ashamed right now. Our chances for glory chopped into thirds. Tobias Thierolf on the tail of Alexandre looking for 3rd place. Costing Greshel still out in front. Lost 2 Audis, we lost 2 Ferraris. A lot of pressure here for Alexandre. Thierolf would really love to get up there. But why'd you retire? There were points on offer. There's only 11 cars running. It's a small field. There's a lot of points on offer in these small field races. Matt Al on the tail of Adam Komorowski. This battle's been going on for a long time, but it really just hasn't developed into any like side-by-side action, which is interesting. Matt Al is just like taking that slow roasting. He's that slow cooker approach. As we pick up Tobias Thierolf, who is still trying to get that podium position, trying to make it a double podium today. He was on the middle step in race 1 with Kazchuk and D, he would love, and you know he's got the pace. He would love to, and has got the pace, to be on the top step of the podium. Incidents happen, Mr. Martin. Incidents happen. I am hoping for a less eventful race tomorrow. I'll be doing my endurance race tomorrow. We're doing 9 hours of... why am I blanking on the track? As Alexandre looks to the inside and makes the overtake on Gresham. That is second. That was an aggressive move. Very aggressive. And Thierolf might also get Gresham here. Around the outside. Room is given, and he's got it. Third place for Tobias Thierolf, the championship leader. Alexandre and Costa, 1-2 for Portugal right now. Suzuka, that's the track. I don't know why it took me that long to think of Suzuka. It's like the one Japanese track I race on a consistent basis. Anyways, doing the endurance there with the McLaren 720S in ACC, so that'll be fun. I hope. Matt Al still on the tail of Adam Komorowski. So Greshel has been dropped down to 4th place, but still doing well. Looks like he's recovered the tires right now. Costa's still in the lead. Judging by the insanity in my MMA Discord, I believe Julia Stolyarenko has ripped the arm off of Molly McCann. And I appreciate it. So our big attackers right now are Mad Al, Tobias Thierolf, Magic Kazchuk. Those are the 3 men to watch for at the moment. They are on the attack. Everybody else is more or less where they are. Not saying they're going to stay there. Obviously, like, you know, first to last right now still doesn't have much of a gap. Like the back 3 are a little bit off the pace, but like the top 8 are pretty close together. So things will still be happening. It is those 3 that I am looking to right now be the catalyst, the primary item to bring things together. Thierolf looking to the inside of Alexandre. Nope. Nothing there. Oh! Tobias spins! Loses control of the car, and up onto the podium goes Dirk Greshel again. Kazchuk also through. It looks like he'll rejoin ahead of Komorowski in 5th place. Nope, Komorowski gets him. He could probably still had dirty tires. Mad Al also through. Big pile of dust there. Somebody kicked him some kitty litter. We'll see how he recovers. I've taken manual control of the camera. So Thierolf down to 7th place with a little over 8 minutes to go. That's going to take some doing. It's going to take some doing right there. If he is going to get back up onto that double podium. Right now, interestingly enough, we have 3 completely new podiums. Costa, Alexandre, and Greshel, who were not on the podium last time. I am wondering... No, we have not, because the only other doubleheader we did was Donington Park, which had the same winner in both races. It was Tobias Thierolf in first place in both races. In race 1, he was ahead of... And there was also double podium for Rene Ermer, who finished 3rd and 2nd. Race 1 had Kazchuk and Ermer. Race 2, Ermer and Edmonds was the podium. So this is a refreshingly variable pecking. As Thierolf tries to make his way forward. Under 7 minutes to go in the race now. That's Andrew D in behind him, who finished on the podium in race 1. Now, it should be mentioned Magic Kazchuk may be on his way to his 2nd podium here. He is currently in 4th position, only a second and a half back of Dirk Greschel. I don't think Greschel has the pace, if we're being honest, but we'll see. Still putting the pressure on Mad Al is Tobias. I don't think we've seen a lot of Mad Al versus Tobias Thierolf over the season. This is an interesting matchup. Down the inside. And still has the inside. The inside goes to Mad Al here. There's enough room. But I think there was a little bit too much curb there for Tobias. Mad Al remains 6th place. It's interesting, I'm looking at the fastest laps. Greschel's fastest lap of a 26.418 is actually really competitive. The fastest lap of the race is only a 25.861. That is Tobias Thierolf's. And aside from that, you're looking at 26.212, 26.272, 26.317. So it is a very competitive top lap. It's just, it doesn't look like he's capable of, it doesn't look like Greschel's capable of doing boom, 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 26s. It doesn't seem like that's on the table. He's down in the 27s last couple of laps, losing about 0.5 that last time around to Kazchuk. They roll down the inside. Can he get it done this time? Same spot. Literally the same turn. And it is going to be again run out onto the curbs. And again, Mad Al hangs on. I just don't think that that's a good overtaking area for Tobias. I don't know if it's an Audi versus Ferrari thing. I don't know if it's a just generically non-starter for overtaking there, but he is battling. It's 2 attempts and 2 failures. Andrew D, by the way, is catching up to this group in the car guy Ferrari. Keeping an eye on Kazchuk. Also, Alexandre is catching up to Costa. I don't know if there's any like team orders there, but my understanding is Costa and Alexandre tend to be, you know, same language, kind of friendly. So it'd be interesting to see if Costa, who's not really fighting for much in this championship, gives way. Because Alexandre's in 3rd place in the championship with a big chance to gain points on Martin today. And Costa's at 9th. There's something to battle for there. He's in a fight with Andrew D. And to a degree, maybe James Butler. Actually, Butler being out today does mean that there's a big chance. So never mind what I said. it was kind of based on the idea that Costa wasn't really fighting for anything championship-wise. But he absolutely is. Costa still leads by 0.6 of a second. Chandre, Greshel. Pedal to the metal, by the way. Greshel that lap did 26.7, which looks like about the third fastest lap of anybody on track. As we spend a lot of time with Tobias Thierolf, which I'm fine with because we usually ignore Tobias out on track. He's usually out front disappearing. But he's having to work for it today. And Matt Al, by proximity, as well as Andrew D. and Adam Komorowski getting a lot of attention. Looking down the inside again. Again, it's this turn. He gets a great run. He edges him out. But he himself took a lot of curb there. Inside. And again, he is unable to get it done. And we have just 1:10 to go. It is looking like, for a change, we are going to see now Tobias Thierolf on the podium. But the German flag is still there in the form of Dirk Greshel, who has put together a fantastic performance here in race number 2. A guy who qualified second to last, P14 for race 1, kept a cool head, made it up to 8th place, started third here, got up to second earlier on when Steve Davidson had a bogged down at the start. Had his problem when it was Alexandre, I think it was who it was, when he went hard in the paint to put a pass on him, and it allowed Thierolf through. Thierolf tripped up, and Dirk Greshel might, trying not to give Castor's curse here, be on his way to a big podium. Let's see if we're going to get another lap here. There are the Portuguese battling out for the victory. Costa in the Red Bull, the AlphaTauri for Alexandre, and this will be the final lap. Kaschuk on the attack as well. He would love to make it a double podium. No offense, Magic, but I am cheering for Dirk Greshel. The stick-to-itiveness and the work put in by him here today truly is impressive. I would love to see him get to sit on the podium. Antonio Costa is your winner, leading over Portuguese 1-2, and it is going to be Dirk Greshel on the podium. Kaschuk held off. Adam Komorowski comes home in 5th place ahead of Matt Al, and it is just 7th for Tobias Thierolf ahead of Andrew D. Josiah Jerome, also a guy who deserves some props. Stick-to-itiveness, had 2 contacts with the wall, brings it home in 9th place. He had an eventful race 1-2. And he is going to bring this home in 9th place. That's a good result for him. Some good points heading into Bathurst. And Raul Valoria bringing it home in 10th. He DNF race 1, started dead last here today. Comes away with the top 10. Your big climber, though, actually ends up being Magic Kaschuk, plus 6 places. And bringing up the rear will be Jebs Sparks. Jebs Sparks. There are your results. Thierolf with the fastest lap again. Costa with the victory. Alexandre, Greshel, Kaschuk, Komorowski, Maddow, Thierolf, D, Jerome, Valoria, Sparks, your 11 finishers. Along the way, we lost Mauricio Delgado, James Butler, Steve Davidson, and Martin Edmonds, who must be shamed. Good work to the finishers. I enjoyed Nogaro. It was an interesting circuit, and I hope you enjoyed the one-man commentary today. I will see you for Bathurst.